From the Kozlowski Gymnasium here on the campus of Arlington High School, tonight the Spy Ponders of Arlington High School play host to the Hawks of Waltham High School. Hello everyone, I'm Don Phelan. As always, I'm joined by my partner Steve DeCourcy. Mark Crory is our producer. And Steve, for both teams, for GBL aspirations, both teams think they can win the GBL. Arlington, Cambridge, and Waltham are probably the top three contenders, so this is a huge game in the GBL.
Yeah, Arlington really getting into their league schedule beginning tonight, and they play a tough Waltham team who's 5-1, undefeated in the GBL at 4-0. Their only loss to a tough Newton North team. Arlington comes in with a 5-0 record, and their last one an impressive 80-79 win over Brockton at Brockton.
Since we were last with you, Steve just mentioned that Brockton win. Arlington also put a hurting on Malden at Malden. So as you said, Arlington coming in at 5-0. And Steve, interestingly enough, in that Brockton game, Phil Barlow missed significant time with a knee-on-knee injury. Neil Samad had 4 fouls in the first half. So for Arlington to go into Brockton and beat that Brockton team, what a big win for the team.
Absolutely, and Roger Perry had stepped up for Arlington in the closing seconds and hit some free throws to ensure the win. The other thing, in talking to Coach Broderick before the game, he said they thought Neil had 3 fouls, and then all of a sudden they threw the 4th foul up there, and I guess they thought he had 2 fouls, and when he committed what they thought was his 3rd, they put number 4 up, so he was in trouble most of the second half.
Yeah, they thought that the bench thought that foul had gone on Cristoforo, when in fact it had been called against Neil Samad, so Arlington came out of the half with Samad with 4 fouls, so quite an impressive victory for the Spy Ponders. As right now, the Waltham Hawks, led by Coach Joe Cacciatore, he's been at the helm of Waltham High School for a number of years now, and we'll check their starting lineup in a moment for you, but right now, the introduction of the Arlington High School team. Number 10, Mike Cristoforo at 1 guard. Sophomore Mike Cristoforo. Number 33, Ryan Cox, senior, forward. Number 23, senior David Noel. Neil Samad, number 40 at center, 6'4" senior, co-captain. And number 11, co-captain guard, Phil Barlow.
And Phil still being bothered by that groin injury, although he reports that it is feeling better tonight, and we'll have to keep an eye on that. But before the game begins, everybody rising to honor America with our national anthem.
Harris, who worked the Peabody game that we covered here, and directly below us, Tom Clues. And Tom Clues probably working tonight's game with a heavy heart. Tom, over the holidays, lost his father, also Thomas Clues. And our condolences go out to Tommy. He's been a friend of ours for over 20 years now, and to the Clues family.
Absolutely, to his family. And Tom's sister, Pat, who had taught here briefly back in the 80s. And absolutely, our condolences to the entire Clues family. Now both teams coming out, slapping hands before we start, and a big crowd here for a Tuesday night. The girls varsity had played earlier this evening. We had a double header of varsity games, and the girls were successful 55-45 over a tough Waltham team. Now the referee, Dave Barris, clearing the Waltham cheerleaders out of the way. Just too dangerous for them to be underneath the basket. And now I believe we're ready for all the great play-by-play. Here's Don Phelan.
Thanks, Steve. Dave Barris will throw it up there between Neil Samad for Arlington and number 14, Steve Stanton. And both players really beat the tip, so they'll throw it up there again. For Waltham, number 11, Jeff Hines, fine ball player, number 11. Number 12, Chris Lovell, as the tip is controlled by Arlington. And Lovell is all over Phil Barlow, and Graham, trying to get it to Barlow, threw it away. First turnover of the game as Lovell came out all over Phil Barlow. The rest of the lineup for Waltham, Mark Pianadosi, number 31, and number 25, Tom Marcartelli. Arlington in the matchup zone, the 3-2 zone. They get it on the baseline. Waltham kicks it out, Hines into the traffic. Good defense by Cristoforo, causes the air ball, and now each team has committed a turnover early on here.
Yeah, and Cox doing a good job sealing things off to allow the ball to go out of bounds.
Cristoforo was ahead of the pack. He tried to dump it into Samad. Samad wasn't ready for it, so we've had 3 possessions and 3 turnovers so far tonight. Maybe a little bit of jitters early on.
Jitters, and also the teams really didn't play that much over the holiday. Mike Broderick was telling us both teams were basically off last week, and they're coming back now, and the rustiness is showing a little bit.
Stanton baseline jumper is another air ball. Rebound by Graham. He gets it to Barlow, and Barlow looking to push it. Barlow kicks it out to Noel. Noel, three-pointer. Yes!
Good start there for Arlington. David Noel with just such a nice-looking shot, and he really has improved his range this year, too, in three-point land for that one.
First points of the night belong to David Noel and Arlington. It's 3-0 Spy Ponders. Just over a minute played. Now in the paint, they kick it back out to Hines. Hines spins into the middle, and the shot is blocked by Samad. Mark Artelli tried to turn around shot, and Samad put it right back in his face. Barlow down the middle, tried the no-look pass to Samad, stripped away. Now Barlow in trouble, tried to get it to Graham, knocked out of bounds by Mark Artelli, and it will remain Arlington ball with 20 seconds on the shot clock. And you can see Lovell all over Phil Barlow. Samad sets the pick, they switch, Barlow's gonna try a three, and he buries it. And Arlington has hit 2 consecutive three-pointers, and they have the quick 6-0 lead.
Samad doing a nice job stepping out to give Barlow some assistance.
Hines in the corner, fakes. Up top to Stanton. To Pianadosi, all the way back into the corner to Hines. A long, long three-pointer is no good. Samad fights for the rebound, but Pianadosi took it right away from him and laid it in. Barlow, Noel. What a quickness battle this is going to be between Phil Barlow and Chris Lovell. They kick it out, Noel. Long three-pointer is around the rim, no good. Rebound fought for, and they're going to get Samad with a little push in the back for the foul.
And Piantadosi doing a nice job boxing out there.
First substitution of the ball game, number 23, Mark Fratto into the ball game, and he replaces Steve Stanton.
And you look at this Waltham team, Donald, and they don't have a big center, but everybody seems to be over 6 feet, and that's going to cause some problems for Arlington, I think, depth-wise.
It will remain to be seen if they can keep up with the quickness of Arlington, though. Lovell appears to be very quick, but I don't know about the rest of the team. Now the inside shot is no good, and now a return over the back foul will be called. This will go against Mark Pianadosi of Waltham. So now each team has committed 1 foul. Arlington leads 6-2, 13:38 to go in the first half. Waltham in man-to-man defense. Noel, tough jumper, no good. Nice box out by Hines. Clears the rebound for the Hawks. Hines had a notion. Now we'll take the pull-up jumper. Short. Rebound fought for and saved by Waltham, but now Arlington has the numbers. Here comes Barlow. Coast to coast, lays it up and in.
And good job there. Barlow took what the defense gave him. The defender just kept backing away. Hines did, and Phil just took it right to the basket.
You're right. I think Phil had a notion to dump that one off, but he, like you said, he took what the defense gave him. And Arlington now has an 8-2 lead, 12:55 to go first half. Hines, he's going to have a big game now away from the ball, away from the action. Let's see what we have. Foul's going to go against Mike Cristoforo for Arlington. His first and the second team foul against Arlington. Waltham will inbound. Now they get it in. Nice play and a great block by Samad. But Fratto stays with it and lays it in. Good perseverance by Fratto. Barlow back the other way, nails a three. Big hoop by Arlington to answer the layup by Fratto. And Arlington now extends to the biggest lead of the night. It's Arlington 11 and Waltham 4. Oh, nice entry pass, and Fratto lays it in.
A good interior ball movement there by Waltham, and Samad basically had a choice. He had to fight the ball, but that left the open Waltham man underneath.
Give Pianadosi the assist for Waltham. Give Fratto the 2. He has 4 of Waltham's 6, and Arlington has a 5-point lead. Samad sets the pick for Barlow. Waltham switches. Barlow has baseline, kicks it out. Cristoforo wide open for 3, and he buries it.
That's automatic, Donald.
Excellent ball movement and play by Arlington. The pick by Samad, the baseline drive by Barlow, and the kick out for 3 for Cristoforo. And Arlington right now, Steve, every time Waltham scores 2, Arlington comes back with 3. Now inside, Samad was beat on the baseline. Mark Artelli lays it in, and Samad will be called for the foul.
That type of foul that really drives coaches crazy, because Marcatelli had the layup, and there was no way Neal was going to get back into the play.
Yeah, you're right, and that's Neal's second foul. so it could be a costly one for Arlington. Mark Artelli at the line with a chance to complete a three-point play.
And unfortunately for our fans here at the Kozlowski Gymnasium, that feature on the scoreboard still not working on the player and foul notification.
Mark Artelli unable to hit the free throw. Christopher with a fadeaway three. Samad fought for it. Graham was not quite back in bounds there when he came up with the ball, so Waltham will take it. And I'm curious to see how long Mike's going to go with Neil Samad with those two fouls, Stephen.
Yeah, and still 11.5 minutes left here in the first half.
Arlington holding on to a 6-point lead, 14-8. Talking to Coach Cacciatore of Waltham before the game, he said he was going to try to run with Arlington. So this has the makings of a fast-paced game as Jeff Hines hits a three, and now Arlington leads 14-11. Hines halves the Arlington lead. Now a nice entry pass back to Barlow on the baseline, and Barlow hits the baseline jumper.
Constant movement there by Phil Barlow. Went to the open seam, and Neil hit him for the open jumper.
Nice pass by Neil Samad. He didn't like what he had, so he kicked it over to Phil, and Phil hit the short 12-foot jumper. Now Noel got a hand on the ball, knocked it away. Graham with the steal, and now a reach-in foul will be called against Waltham. And it will go against number 12, Chris Lovell. And Lovell will check out of the Waltham lineup to be replaced by Brad Zarnowski. So Zarnowski will have the task of guarding Barlow. Barlow tries a long three, no good. Samad comes up with the rebound, and Pianadosi will be called for a reach-in foul.
And looking at the Waltham players, they all look very winded at this point, and you wonder if that strategy is going to work for Waltham trying to keep up with this Arlington team. Seems to me that they'd be better off going into a half-court type set, try to slow things down.
Arlington off the inbounds play. Barlow kicks it back up top to Cristoforo. Mike gets it to Noel. And he tried the long cross-court pass to Cristoforo, but Cristoforo with the steal. Cristoforo to the hole. Tried to dish it to Samad, but Mark Artelli smartly got in the way with the steal. Now Hines dribbling baseline. Great hustle by Cristoforo causes a tied jump ball situation. And on the alternating possession rule, the ball will remain Waltham's.
Good aggressiveness there by Cristoforo on defense.
Stanton back into the lineup for Waltham, replacing Pianadosi. Fratto into the traffic, missed the layup. Rebound fought for by Fratto. Fratto up strong, missed the layup. Fratto again with the right hand this time, and he puts it in off the glass. Back the other way, Cristoforo for a three. No good. Samad with the rebound. Tried the entry pass to Graham. Probably would have been better served to go up with that one. Now Hines all the way, gets away with a walk, and instead they're going to call Phil Barlow for a reach-in foul.
Unfortunate call there. Looked like Hines was out of control and really was losing his balance as he went to the basket, but the foul called. But back down to the other end, absolutely right. Neil Samad being a little too unselfish there inside the paint.
Phil Barlow picked up the foul, his first, Arlington's fourth. And Jeff Hines, good free throw shooter at the line for Waltham. Chance to cut into Arlington's three-point lead, and he hits the first free throw. Now Arlington's going to go small, Steve, as number 34, Roger Perry, checks into the lineup, and he replaces Neil Samad. So this will probably put Graham at center with Noel moving to forward, I guess. Arlington really with a five-guard lineup. Excuse me, Ryan Cox, I'm sorry. Number 33 for Arlington.
Yeah, a really interesting lineup here for Arlington. I mean, Neil had the two fouls, so I mean, he was due for a break.
Ooh, now Hines goes into the Waltham bench to try to save the ball, and hopefully he's okay. And actually, who took the worst of it was on the bench, number 31, Mark Pianadosi. Might have taken the worst of that fall, as one of the chairs just absolutely collapsed. And everybody appears to be okay. Great hustle by Hines. And now we have a timeout on the floor, and I'll tell you, that's good because this game's, it's hard to keep track of what's going on. It's been so up and down.
They've got their track shoes on tonight, and just looking down at the chair that came out of action, that one's going to have to go into the dumpster outside the gym here. After the quick start by Arlington, they were at one point 11-4. Waltham has whittled away, and at 16-15, Coach Broderick going through some defensive alignments there, because Waltham has had great success moving the ball around on offense.
Really an overflow crowd here tonight, as you mentioned earlier, for a Tuesday night. The impact of this game in the GBL, and really if you're just a basketball fan and you look at the schedule and you look at this matchup of the two undefeated teams in the GBL, I believe Cambridge is also undefeated in the league, and really those are the only three contenders in my opinion to win the GBL title this year.
Yeah, and looking, I haven't seen many of the other teams, but looking at some of the box scores to see how common opponents have done, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, there's certainly 2 tiers, maybe 3 tiers in the league, with like a Malden really being towards the bottom of the league.
Right, Arlington really beat up on Medford and Malden. Peabody gave Arlington a good game here at home, and Arlington beat Somerville on the road, so almost one time through the GBL with Cambridge and Revere still to be played. So Arlington with a 1-point lead, the clock just getting going. It took a while there to get started. 16-15, 9:34 to go first half. Roger Perry, tricky dribbles into the lane, tough shot, puts it up and in, count the basket, and Roger Perry will go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play.
And that got the student section going. A great move and great body control by Perry.
Roger Perry, who hit the game-winning free throw at Brockton, an 80-79 victory last Tuesday night. Perry unable to complete the 3-point play, but Noel high for the rebound. Barlow open, takes the pull-up jumper just inside 3-point land. Shot is no good, and Sarnowski tracks it down for Waltham. Hines slows it down for Waltham. Arlington in the 1-2-2 zone. Inside to Stanton. Stanton lays it up and in.
Nice ball movement again, and Waltham just working that ball around and finding a lot of open seams.
And now Barlow with the pass, try to get it to Noel. Noel touched it last, and Waltham will get it on the turnover. Really asking a lot of Ryan Cox, number 33 for Arlington. He's really got to play that down low position. He's going to have to battle inside in there. Waltham with a chance to take the lead. They trail it by 1. Hines for 3. No good. Perry with the rebound. Gets it to Barlow. Waltham quick to get back. Barlow into the lane, takes the floater. No good. Comes up with his own rebound. Fakes, puts it up, gets hit, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And you could hear that slap throughout the gym. Neil Samad to come back into the Arlington lineup after the free throws.
That foul will go against Jeff Hines of Waltham. And Phil Barlow at the line for 2. And Barlow hits the first free throw. Substitutions into the game for Waltham, number 12, Chris Lovell. And for Arlington, number 40, Neil Samad. And he replaces Ryan Cox.
And for the first time this year, the stands on the south end of the gymnasium just below us will be opened up to help deal with this overflow crowd.
That's always nice to see. We usually have that only for the Arlington Catholic game here at home, and I expect a similar crowd next Monday night, the next home game when Arlington hosts Cambridge. Arlington on the road Friday night at Revere. And Barlow hits both free throws.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Arlington sports fans, it's a conflict next Monday. As last night, Arlington Catholic and Arlington High were successful in the Reading hockey tournament. They'll be playing in the championship of that tournament next Monday, and we'll have Arlington and Cambridge here. So it's too bad that the schedule just happens to break that way.
Now inside, nice passing by Waltham results in a layup, an easy layup for number 23, Mark Fratto. And the Arlington lead is now back again, a 1-point advantage. It's Arlington 20, Waltham 19, halfway through the first half. Barlow dribbling. Cristoforo open for 3. Around the rim and in. Coach Cacciatore having fits on the sideline. He must be leaving Cristoforo open like that. And now something we haven't seen too much of from Arlington in the last year or this year is a little bit of pressure. Oh, and Cristoforo almost stepped up for the steal. Inside with the layup, number 31, Mark Pianadosi. And, Waltham did a very nice job of being patient with that press, resulting in an easy layup for Pianadosi. Barlow with a 2-point shot. No,
okay,
it is a three. Tom Clues late with the signal for the three-pointer, but Barlow answers the layup with a three-pointer, and now Arlington all of a sudden with a 5-point lead. It seems like a lot of times when Waltham has scored, Arlington has responded with a three. Lovell in the corner, baseline three-pointer is good. So both teams shooting a very high percentage.
Yeah, and Waltham, I believe that's their first three. 90% of their baskets have come in the paint.
Barlow on the baseline. Cristoforo open, fakes just inside the three-point line. Shot is no good. And Hines, he has to step on the pack. Cristoforo try and get back. Cristoforo with the foul. Hines with the layup. He ties the game, and he'll have a chance to give Waltham the lead.
Cristoforo tried to get back into the play and just swipe at the ball, but Hines got his arm there, and good call by official Tom Clues. And unfortunately, Waltham a chance to go up by one here. Take their first lead of the game.
Fifth team foul on Arlington. Both teams now have committed 5 team fouls. 6:42 to go, first half. And Hines nails the free throw, and I believe that's the first lead of the night for Waltham. 27-26 Hawks. Cristoforo. Again, Lovell all over Barlow. Samad sets the pick. Barlow goes baseline, switches hands, reverse layup with the left hand. Oh, what an unbelievable shot. Ball's fought for, and Hines throws it off of Perry. And Waltham will get possession of the basketball.
And Waltham has traveled very well tonight. They have a large cheering section behind their cheerleaders.
Number 32, Luis Ortiz into the Waltham lineup. So Waltham with a 1-point lead and the basketball. Hines fakes. It's a back out to Lovell. Inside. And a traveling violation will be called against Pianadosi.
Pianadosi got that ball as he was backing up. I don't think he was really expecting it, and he couldn't get the ball down in time.
So on the turnover, Arlington gets the basketball. A chance to reclaim the lead. Noel from the baseline. A three-pointer is good, and then on the box out, Noel goes down hard. Who was that? Fratto that took liberties with Noel up in the air.
And how many times have we seen that this year where a player goes up, everybody's looking at the basket, person boxing out just gives the shooter a whack.
Well, you're allowed to box out, of course, but you can't really just take liberties on someone. Now, Barlow got caught up in the air, threw it away. Hines picks it off for Waltham. Yeah, the officials have to do a good job of watching what happens to that shooter. Ortiz in the corner for three. Nice looking shot. Pianadosi knocks the ball out of bounds, and it will be Spy Ponder's ball. Number 25, Tom Marcartelli, back into the Waltham lineup. He replaces Mark Fratto. Really gave Waltham some quality minutes down low. Arlington with a 2-point lead and the basketball. Waltham staying in the man-to-man. Barlow with the pull-up three. Oh. Nails it, and again, Lovell with the cheap play on the box out. And Coach Broderick is telling Dave Barris to keep an eye on that, and he's right.
Yeah, well, that's 2 in a row.
Now Arlington extends to a 5-point lead. Lovell, top of the key. Barlow almost had the steal. Hines is going to take the three, and he buries it. This Jeff Hines is some kind of player. His three-pointer cuts the Arlington lead to 2. It's Arlington 32, Waltham 30, 4:38 to go in the half. Oh, Cristoforo wide open. Shots just off a little bit. Nice box out and a travel by Pianadosi.
An extra bounce on the rim caused Neil Samard to miss the rebound. He had it timed pretty well.
Yeah, then Neil was smart not to reach for it. Now Hines tried a long three. It's an air ball and away from the ball. They're going to get Marcartelli pushing off. For Arlington, number 33, Ryan Cox back into the game. And Mike Cristoforo is going to get a break. And that foul on Waltham was their 6th team foul. Next team foul against Waltham, and Arlington will be in the bonus. Barlow, pull up three. And again, and there it is. Finally, they call it. As Waltham has really taken liberties on these boxes out, on these box out situations. That time Zaranowski with it. It's a good call by the official. It's not a shooting foul. It's after the shot. But now Waltham is in the penalty, so Phil Barlow will go to the line for a one-on-one only, not 3 shots.
And that one, it's almost a submarine situation. Phil had taken the jump shot. His momentum was carrying him, and then he just got undercut.
That play is as old as basketball is itself. Everyone says, oh, I'm just boxing out, I'm just boxing out. But you can't take somebody out like that when you're boxing out. That's just not the intent of the rule. And Barlow hits the front end of the one-on-one.
The thing is, for Waltham, Coach Broderick had reminded the officials twice, so everybody was looking at Phil after he took the shot.
Yeah, really, that official who's watching the shot, he has nothing else to look for. He doesn't need to see if it goes in or not, so he may as well watch what happens to the shooter as Barlow hits both ends of the one-on-one, and Arlington now with a 4-point lead. It's Arlington 34, Waltham 30, 4:09 to go, first half. And now Mark Artelli passed it to Sarnowski, and the ball traveled into the backcourt, so a backcourt violation will result in a turnover in Arlington's basketball.
And Sarnowski almost forgot to pick the ball up. Noel was right behind him and ready to go in for a dunk.
Right, and that turnover cost Mark Artelli a seat on the bench as Fratto checks back into the Waltham lineup. Barlow tied up on the baseline, gets it to Samad. Noel open at the top of the key, had a notion, lost control of the ball, got it into Samad. Back out to Barlow. Arlington will reset 14 on the shot clock. Barlow into the lane. Behind the overhead pass to Noel for 3, and he nails it.
Noel waiting patiently for the ball from Barlow.
Big hoop by David Noel. Now Barlow with the steal. He tried to flick it ahead to himself, but it didn't work as Hines came up with it. Now Ortiz in the corner for 3. Round the rim, no good. Rebound fought for. Still loose on the floor. Comes to Pianadosi, who misses a foul line jumper. I don't think that's the shot Coach Catch wants to see. Roger Perry to the hole, lays it up and in.
Roger Perry really emerging as this season is going on, and Waltham taking the timeout as Arlington has increased their lead to 9 at 39-30.
Their biggest lead of the game, Steve, with 3:09 to go in the first half. And Phil Barlow, I'll tell you, Steve, sometimes he's a magician with the basketball. That previous play before the Perry layup, he went into the lane. I thought for sure he was just going to lay it in. Instead, he threw an over-the-head pass to a wide-open Noel. And the thing that makes that play, though, is not only was it a great pass by Phil, but by Noel making the 3. If he misses if he misses the shot, it's nothing. But Noel, with great form, nailed the 3, and that's just a big hoop.
Yeah, and the other thing about Barlow going into the lane there, I think he was looking at every option, and he knew he had Noel outside, and when nothing was available, he just kicked it right back out.
Also, the last couple possessions, Waltham has kind of cooled off a little bit, and Arlington has responded with baskets. Arlington must be shooting a very high percentage in this game so far. Both teams, but as I said, Waltham has missed their last couple possessions. Arlington's making them pay.
Well, and I think it's been a little frustrating for Waltham. They've been doing it 2 at a time, and Arlington primarily has been doing it 3 at a time. And the tendency for Waltham is to start to launch a couple, and they just did the last 2 possessions.
Right.
And I'm sure they were told, let's work the offense.
Right, Ortiz took the long 3 from the corner, and then Pianadosi took the beyond the foul line shot, which probably is a little bit out of his range. So Waltham ball, they trail by 9, exactly 3 minutes to go. Hines fakes again, gets it back out to Stanton. Hines, 14 on the shot clock, good defense by Arlington this possession. 10 on the shot clock. Inside to Mark Artelli. That's a good little move, but he missed the bunny. Rebound fought for. Fratto goes up, puts it up, no good, but he's fouled on the play. Let's see who gets the foul. Hope it's not on Neal.
I think it's going to go against Ryan Cox. And Fratto has really done a fine job for Waltham on the offensive boards. He's just been all around the basketball.
You're right, Steve. The foul was on Cox. 16 foul against Arlington. Fratto at the line, and he nails the first free throw. So now Arlington, with their next foul, will also be in the penalty. So we'll be shooting free throws the rest of the way here in the half. And Fratto a little bit long on the second free throw. Noel having trouble with the handle. Ball is fought for. Great hustle there by Brad Sarnowski of Waltham, and Waltham will get the basketball. Zarnowski comes out of the game, and his team greets him with high fives from everybody. He made a great hustle play there as Noel lost the handle of the basketball. Lovell in the corner. 3-pointer is good. And all of a sudden, the Arlington lead has been trimmed to 5. It's Arlington 39, Waltham 34, 2:20 to go first half. Samad tried to get it down low to Perry. pass was picked off by Hines. I think Hines is a standout on the Waltham football team. Lovell hits another three, and now let's see, away from the basketball. There's going to be a foul. I believe it's going to go against Waltham. The three-point basket will count, and Fratto, away from the ball, will be called for a foul, and Arlington will go to the line now for a 1-and-1. So that's one of those strange plays where the basket counts even though there was a foul, because the foul was while the ball was in flight away from the shooter. Let's see who goes to the line for Arlington. If it will be Cox or Samad, it will be Neil Samad. 8th team foul on Waltham, so it will be a 1-and-1 for Neil Samad. Neil Samad, front end, no good. Fratto grabs the rebound, so Arlington once had a 9-point lead. And now from behind, Perry with the strip. Barlow. Oh, what a pass, and Noel lays it in.
Great pass. I didn't know what Phil was going to do with the ball as he turned the corner there, but he had an answer.
What a big turn of events there, Steve, at the 2-minute mark. Waltham with a chance to tie or take the lead. Instead, Arlington with the steal and an easy layup for Noel and get the lead back up to 4 points. Stanton, he's been quiet for Waltham. In the corner to Lovell, tries a three, it's long. Rebound fought for. Samad, let's see, and Neil does a great job. He knocked it off of Fratto's body, and it will be Arlington ball. Another fine hustle play by the Spy Ponders.
Just stuck right with it, and on the shot, Lovell just trying to go to the well once too often. He forced a three-pointer, he had the long rebound.
Minute 34 to go first half. Waltham looking to trap here. Barlow just basically can single-handedly beat it. Wide open Noel, probably traveled there, got away with it, then he got killed, and now let's see what we have. They're gonna say that Hines was out of bounds when he touched the ball. It's a pretty good 50-50 call there, because Arlington deserved the ball, no foul though.
Yeah, and really a break for Waltham, because the alternative was a foul.
Correct. Now Barlow comes off the pick on the out of bounds plays. Hines got a hand on it, but Barlow took it away from Hines. Now Barlow trying to dribble, and he's hacked on the play, and Fratto said something to the official. He's like he didn't pick up a tee on top of it all. And I think Fratto now may have 3 fouls.
And Fratto still talking to the official, and his teammate pulling him away, Lovell, and Joe Cacciatore yelling at him too to get out of there.
Fratto has given him some quality time at the 4 position, and him picking up 3 fouls, especially on a reach-in foul like that, is costly to Waltham. 9 team fouls on Waltham, so Barlow's going to have to earn these with the front end of a 1-and-1, and he nails the first free throw. It's been a game of 5-point runs. Arlington up by 9, Arlington up by 2. Now with this free throw, Arlington back up by 6. So never comfortable, but no. Arlington's still maintaining the lead.
But Waltham hanging around nicely.
Certainly, and Waltham did have the lead at one point, 29-28. But now Arlington with a 6-point edge with about over just a minute to go. 3-pointer Hines is good, and just as I say it, Waltham answers with a basket of their own. It's Arlington 43, Waltham 40, exactly a minute to go. Hines again goes for the steal and into the Waltham bench. Can't come up with it. It will remain Arlington ball.
That's the second time for Hines putting a scare into the bench area.
Cox to inbound for Arlington. Gets it up high to Samad. Gets it to Phil. 52 seconds to go, 20 on the shot clock. Arlington should get 2 possessions to 1 for Waltham here at the end. Oh, an over-the-head pass by Phil Barlow, and Neil Samad hits the 10-footer. Another tricky pass by Barlow and another easy basket for Arlington. Arlington with a 5-point lead, 34 seconds to go first half. Oh yeah, there it is. No basket, but Arlington did commit the push foul.
On the crash.
David Noel picks up the foul. And now 17 fouls on Arlington. And this will put Mark Pianadosi at the line for Waltham for a 1-and-1. .29 seconds to go, so Arlington probably will hold for the last shot after these free throws by Pianadosi. And Pianadosi hits the first free throw. Pianadosi's second free throw is also good. So Pianadosi shows a nice touch at the line for a big guy. Hits 2 free throws. The Arlington lead is 3. 45-42. 29 seconds to go. It's been an up and down first half. Hope you're enjoying this one. Samad sets the pick. Barlow in traffic. Shot was blocked by Lovell. Here comes Hines. Noel back for Arlington. Hines lays it in. Count the basket. And Hines will go to the line with a chance to tie this ball game up.
Huge momentum swing there.
David Noel picks up the foul. That's at least 2 on David. And the 8th team foul against Arlington. Hines again, he has that ability to go coast to coast, draw the contact, and make the basket anyway. He's done that a couple times tonight.
Yeah, both times down the left side. He does such a nice job of protecting the basketball and shielding his body.
Hines completes the three-point play, so we're all tied up at 45. Arlington didn't hold for that last shot, Stephen, last possession, and it cost them. It cost them 3 points. It cost them a foul on Noel. Now Barlow all the way into the traffic, floats it up, no good. Perry with the rebound, and he is fouled on the play.
And both officials up with the call there. Coach Cacciatore doesn't like it, but it looked like there's a little contact on top of the contact with the basketball.
Well, you said it the best way you could, Stephen. Both officials have the call. Something must have happened. Roger Perry at the line. 5 seconds to go, tied at 45. And Perry's free throw is good. Steve, we've had games where it's been tied at 45 with 5 seconds to go in the game.
Right.
In years past.
Well, absolutely amazing. I mean, when you consider, you look at the scores of the games this year, Arlington has yet to score under 80 points in a ball game.
80 or more in every game. Now Waltham with a chance, 5 seconds to go. Hines with the fake, the floater, no good. Rebound fought for, grabbed by Cox, and the half will end.
Arlington catching a break there because that shot looked like it was good. Hines was able to get up the court much too fast.
Nice job by Waltham to get off the last shot there with just the 5 seconds, and a good one at that. And Hines had a chance to tie it. That's the end of the first half. The score, Arlington 47, Waltham 45. Steve and I will be back with second half action after this. And getting ready for second half action, Don Phelan, Steve DeCourcy, producer Mark Crory, and Steve, boy, I'll tell you, what an up and down half.
Yeah, great first half. Both teams scoring 47-45, scoring over 45 points, and both teams on a 90-point pace. So that will tell you there's been a lot of balls going up and in tonight.
Barlow, the floater high off the backboard and in. Great shot by Phil. First possession, second half. Arlington gets the first 2. Extend the lead to 4 points. Phil Barlow led the way, Steve, for Arlington. 22 first half points. Into the lane, Stanton, shots no good. Cox with the rebound. Arlington looking to run. Noel hoping for 3. Yes!
That's a challenge for Waltham. Joe Cacciatore throwing his coat into the Waltham bench. Arlington gets the ball, and they're running right up there. And if Waltham's not back on defense, this is what happens.
Waltham was slow to get back. Noel and Cristoforo, and for that matter, Phil Barlow, you just can't leave them open in three-point range. You're just asking for trouble. Hines, tough baseline jumper, buries it, and he cuts into the Arlington lead. Hines led the way for Waltham in the first half with 17. He now has 19. Barlow with the floater, no good. Samad with the rebound, gets hacked, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Neil Samard was hindered a bit in the first half because he picked up the 2 early fouls, but you can see he's starting to assert himself on the offensive end.
Samard held to 2 first half points, Stephen. And as you said, he sat out a significant amount of it with the fouls, but nobody for either team has 3 fouls. We thought Fratto may have had 3, but he only has 2. And now for Pianadosi for Waltham picks up his 3rd. So the first player to pick up 3. Second free throw, Neil Samad rolls around, no good. Mark Cartelli with the rebound for Waltham.
I want to thank Ron McPhee, who was here tonight assisting on the scoreboard downstairs. It is now fully operational. We hear from Carl DiMatteo, and McPhee came out and he has some experience with these matters, and he got it going.
Barlow with the steal. Noel ahead of the pack. Couldn't quite control the pass. Now Noel in the corner, inside Samad. Oh, he's going to have an easy two. He lays it in.
Neil thought he was going to have a tough time of it. He backed in slowly. Then the next thing he knew, he had the layup.
Well, if he could see it from our angle, he would have known he had the easy two, but he had to work a little harder for it than he wanted to. But now Arlington extends to a 7-point lead.
And Fratto being called off the bench by Coach Cacciatore. He'll be in next whistle.
Now, great hustle by Waltham, but unfortunately that's a backcourt violation, and Arlington will get the ball in the turnover. Waltham looking to trap Barlow, just goes right by him on the sideline. Gets it to Noel. Noel, pull up three, buries it. It's almost easy sometimes. And Coach Cacciatore immediately calls a timeout. Barlow beats the trap. Noel in the corner for three, and Arlington with a 10-point lead.
And the thing is, if you're Waltham, I haven't had any success with the trap. And if this is what's going to happen, they've got to go back and just concentrate on their regular defense.
Played 2 minutes and 3 seconds in the second half. Arlington's already scored 10 points in the second half to Waltham's 2. So what was a 2-point Arlington halftime lead has ballooned to 10.
And with Noel really improving his range this year, Donald. Again, Arlington has 3 3-point threats, and Barlow has a choice. He goes over to Cristoforo. He's got that range, and of course Noel showing tonight. I believe he probably has 5 threes this evening.
Noel had 11 at the half, and I believe he has 2 3-pointers here in the second half, so he's up to 17 points. The rest of the halftime scoring, as we said, Samar with 2, Cristoforo and Roger Perry each with 6 for Arlington. And Ryan Cox in the first half did not score. Now Arlington, a little different look here, a little 1-3-1 with Cristoforo up top. Now it looks like they'll settle back into the... Still look like they maybe stay in it. Inside jumper, no good. Rebound fought for. Cox smartly comes up with it. How did he come up with that ball amongst the 3 Waltham players? I'll never know. Now, Lovell grabs some out of the pick. 3-pointer is short by Noel, and now Noel puts the ball, the jumper in, and he'll be called for a travel.
I just tried to square up at the last moment there, and he got caught for the travel, but Noel doing a very good thing following his shot and getting the offensive rebound.
Well, it looked almost like a jump stop there by Noel, but he didn't get away with it. Unfortunately, the ball went in, too, so it cost Arlington a deuce. Arlington in a much different look defensively here. Looks like they're staying in the 1-3-1. Hines, a long 3 is good.
The thing about Hines, he gets a lot of air under the ball. That shot seemed like it was up for about 10 seconds.
Not much time on the shot clock when he threw that one up, but he's able to connect. Cuts the Arlington lead to 7. Now Arlington again, no problem beating the trap, but Waltham staying in it. They double team Barlow. He's in trouble. He somehow gets it to Noel, and Noel lays it in.
I don't know how that ball got over there. It just seemed to float over everybody's head, and Noel had an easy layup.
You know, every once in a while, Phil turns it over when he jumps up in the air like that, but I'll say 8 out of 10, if not 9 out of 10. He finds somebody somehow, and oftentimes it ends up in an easy hoop for Arlington, no less. Unbelievable court awareness. Baseline, Fratto lays it in. He took it right into the double team of Barlow and Cox and powered it home, and the Arlington lead is still 7. Noel, baseline, smartly to Cox. Cox tied up top to Barlow. Barlow double teamed into the lane. Floater from the foul line is good, and Barlow seems to be hurt. He's motioning over to Coach Broderick to take him out. I don't know if it's the groin.
Injury might be acting up.
Hines for 3, nails it. Jeff Hines, 3-pointer, and now I think what happened is the wrap on Phil Barlow's groin injury has come apart, so he's going to have to get it retaped. I don't think that's something the officials will let the play stop for. I think he's got to come out of the game.
No, maybe he's just asking for the tape to be cut off right there.
I think Michael's going to have to take a timeout if he wants to keep him in this ball game. Coach Broderick trying to stall for time, but I don't think he's going to get away with this. I think Roger Perry is going to have to check into the Arlington lineup as Barlow gets retaped. And we'll give Phil a little privacy there in that groin area.
Okay, I say taking the wrap off, and he'll be able to go back in next whistle.
Well, okay. So Perry into the Arlington lineup, and Waltham, of course, will try to extend the trap, and it results in a turnover. The Arlington lead is 6, 11:25 to go first half. Oh, wide open pass. Fratto lays it in with the left hand, and Hines with a beautiful cross-court pass. And now Arlington will take a timeout, I'm sure, A, to talk about what's going on as the lead has dwindled to 4, but also to get Phil Barlow back into the ball game.
Yeah, and again, great ball movement by Waltham. They flooded one side of the court, and the Arlington defense moved over with the ball, and left number 25 of Waltham wide open, Marcatelli, for the easy layup.
So Arlington takes timeout. I believe the first timeout taken by Arlington. Well played game. Only one foul committed here in the second half. We played almost 5 minutes, so that's another good thing about the fast-paced game like this. You really don't get into the old GBL grudging type of game with a lot of fouls and physical play. The play's too fast to be physical.
Yeah, that's right. And both teams, the ball's coming through the net, and both teams are looking to push it up. And I'm sure next Monday we're going to see that same type of thing when Cambridge Ringe and Latin comes to the Kozlowski Gymnasium, which should be a great game.
So the latest momentum swing has been Waltham's. They've rattled off 5 straight. The Arlington lead is now 4 with 11:12 to go in the ball game. Arlington with their starting 5 in there. Barlow, pull up 3, looks short. Round the rim, no good. Pianadosi with the rebound for Waltham. Hines fakes again. He's got a good up fake with that. Now into the traffic goes Sarnowski. Good defense by Samart. He wanted a charge. I think a good non-call there. Barlow, Cristoforo. Noel's open for 3, and he nails it. And now away from the ball, Barlow gets tangled up with Zarnowski. Nothing comes of that, but the big 3-pointer by David Noel, and Arlington all of a sudden with an 8-point lead. Fratto, they'll dare him to beat him from there, but not from there as he takes a baseline and lays it in. I think that fooled Neil Samad. I don't think Neil thought he was going to go to the hole like that.
Yeah, I mean, he knows that Fratto's a right. He didn't expect him to go left on him, and he went right by him.
Cristoforo, smart court awareness. He knew that 3 was short. Now we'll take the baseline jumper. No good. Samad fought for it, but Pianadosi pulls it away for Waltham. Zarnowski, physical player, and an easy inside 10-foot jump shot missed by Pianadosi. Break for Arlington.
I think Pianadosi was shocked that no one was on him. He just got rid of it. And
David Noel with another 3.
It's the fastest release in the state.
I'll tell you, Phil Barlow found him on the wing, and Noel is not even thinking about hesitating on his shot right now. He's so hot. He doesn't even look like he breaks a sweat out there, Steve. He plays so calmly.
Oh, yeah, such a cool customer.
Really stepped up his game from last year, too. Really fine young man, too. We've had him on a couple times up here, and he's a great kid. Now the pass is knocked away from behind by Cristoforo. Coach Broderick yelling for Arlington to run. Inside to Samad. Samad maybe travels, and instead of a travel, Arlington catches a break there as Waltham will be called for a foul.
And Hines had guessed right in terms of where Samad was going, but I think we caught a break on that foul call.
Yeah, I really do, and only the second team foul committed by Waltham, and only the second foul committed the entire second half in this ball game. Zarnowski and Mark Artelli check out of the Waltham lineup, replaced by Lovell and Stanton. Now inside Samad, triple team, goes to the hole strong, lays it up and in. A beautiful power move by Neil Samad.
And a great transfer of the basketball from the left to the right hand to put it in off the glass.
That foul on Hines was his second. And Arlington now again extends to the 10-point lead. Let's see what happens this time. Stanton answers with 2. Stanton's first points of the second half. He now has 4 for Waltham, and Arlington leads by 8 with 8:33 to go. Cox gets it, and he's fouled on the play by Hines, and Hines in consecutive possessions has picked up fouls for Waltham.
And that one, he was all over Cox.
Cox will go to the line as it was called a shooting foul. So senior Ryan Cox to the line with a chance to extend the Arlington lead. Ryan Cox nails the first free throw. Second free throw, Ryan Cox, is no good. And they're going to call Noel for a reach-in foul. That's going to be David's 3rd foul.
And again, really don't like to see those type of fouls. You only get 5 in high school. You want to earn every one of them.
First team foul for Arlington. 3rd on Noel. Arlington with a 9-point lead just about halfway through the second half. Fratto to the hole, lays it in.
I've been very impressed with Fratto tonight. He's just been taking the ball nicely to the basket.
Arlington's going to have to get a little more physical with him, and they're really letting him just go right to the hole. Barlow all the way, tied up. Cox, Cristoforo for 3. It's a tough shot, no good. He didn't really have speed set. Samad with the rebound, missed the bunny. Back out, Barlow for 3. No good. Samad with the rebound, puts it up. And let's see what we have. No basket. Neil Samad will be called for the rebounding foul. So no basket there for Arlington. Samad's 3rd foul.
Not a lot of contact on that call, and disappointing. You could hear the fans screaming, and Mike Broderick asking Tom Close about that one.
Second team foul this half against Arlington. Arlington leads by 7 with 7:40 to go in the ball game. Lovell in the corner for 3. And now Samad will pick up his 4th, and that's the same play that Waltham's been doing all night, and they're going to clean that up now.
Yeah, and Samad just came over much too hard and crashed into Lovell after he took the shot.
The difference on that is they're going to consider that one a shooting foul, as the player had not landed. So Lovell will go to the line. I'm not sure if it's for 2 or 3. I think it's for 3.
Yeah, he was in 3-point land, so the good call there. All 3 free throws.
And the first one rolls in.
And you can see a little difference this year. I think we talked about in the Peabody game, and just in the officiating, the down-low official handled everything in between shots. So the outside official comes in at the beginning of the free throws, but then disappears to get ready for the play going down the other end.
Now the players didn't know it was 3 as they fought for the rebound unnecessarily. And I'm surprised Mike hasn't gone to the bench here, Stephen, for a little while to buy some time for Neil. That was Neil's 4th foul.
Yeah.
He's going to have to play the last 7:32 of this game very smartly, and Lovell uses all of the rim and backboard and everything else in there to hit 2 out of 3 free throws, and the Arlington lead is but 5 right now. Oh, Cox was open. Oh, Neil tried to get it to him, but Hines picked it off, and Waltham with a chance to cut into the Arlington lead.
Now you wonder to see if Waltham will go right at Samad.
Arlington's going to have to protect Neil. Lovell from the corner for 3. Nails it. And all of a sudden we have a 2-point ball game. And Coach Broderick looks to the sideline to see how many timeouts he has
They need
left.
a timeout.
He's going to take one. And there it is. The Waltham Hawks are fired up. They've cut the Arlington lead down to 2. It's Arlington 70, Waltham 68 with 7:01 to go in the ball game.
And a big turning point in the second half, Donald. Arlington was up 70-63 just a moment ago. Samad had gotten a rebound, put in a layup, would have put them up by 9. Instead, you've got a foul call. And Waltham then rattles off 5 consecutive points.
And then too, Neil picked up the foul on the other end, and he now has 4. So Arlington's going to have to buy a couple minutes before they can put Neil in there. And it looks like in the huddle that Roger Perry will check into the Arlington lineup. So Arlington's going to have that small lineup in there again.
And again, with the game so close, Waltham can really take control in the paint. The smaller lineup, when you're up by 7 or 9 and the team has to score in bunches, is a big difference than this situation where you can do it 2 at a time and keep the game competitive, if not go ahead.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Waltham with not a great amount of height, but a couple of wide bodies. Fratto, Pianadosi, Mark Artelli. It's going to be up to Cox and Noel to have to play that physical presence inside against those guys.
And one thing Waltham has found here in the second half is the ability to hit a few three-point shots as well.
Yeah, Lovell had 7 first-half points. He's hit a couple of threes here in the second half, and he's made a bit of a difference. Hines hasn't been as hot in the second half as he was in the first, but now he's doing a better job of distributing the ball to other players. Arlington inbounds the ball. 7 minutes exactly to go in the game. Arlington leads it by 2. Cox sets the pick. Barlow for 3. No good. Rebound fought for. Noel couldn't come up with it. And now Hines with the ball for Waltham, and Waltham with a chance to tie this ball game or take the lead with the 3. Lovell got in trouble, got it back out to Hines. Hines, baseline, got in trouble, got it to Stanton. Stanton jumper is good, and we're all tied at 70.
And good ball movement, and really Waltham's really extended Arlington's defense and has created a lot of options for them.
6:18 to go in the ball game. Arlington and Waltham tied at 70. Cristoforo for 3. No. Noel with a rebound. Big offensive rebound by David. Gets it to Cristoforo. He's going to try another 3. No good. Perry high for the rebound. Lays it up. No good. Rebound fought for. And it's Hines that comes up with it for Waltham. And now Waltham with a chance to take the lead. Arlington looks to be in man-to-man defense. A little confused about the assignment. Stanton, jumper, rolls it in. So Stanton, Steve Stanton, number 14, very quiet in the first half, has made a difference here in the second half, and Waltham leads by 2. Now the ball is kicked, and it will remain Arlington ball, and Arlington will get a new shot clock.
Waltham has been very patient in the second half. You wonder with 5.5 minutes left how much longer Arlington can go without putting Neil Samard back into the ball game.
Not much. Inside, Perry gets killed. He'll go to the line for 2 as Pianadosi will commit the foul. Third team foul against Waltham, and the 4th foul against Pianadosi, so he, like Samard, has only 1 foul left, and Roger Perry calmly hits the first free throw. A big free throw there by Roger.
Yeah, still plenty of time left in this game, but every shot critical.
Pianadosi checks out of the Waltham lineup, replaced by Fratto, and Perry around the rim with the second one. Noel hits the jumper and puts Arlington back in the lead.
And a big break there for Arlington. Noel going over the top. No foul call by Dave Barris, and Coach Cacciatore still hasn't stopped yelling.
I just think David just jumped over the kid. What's wrong with that? And he grabbed the ball and gave Arlington the lead.
Well, he pulled his hands away so quick.
73-72, Spy Pond has 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Hines for a long 3. No good. Oh, and up high is Lovell for the tip. He was way up there, Stephen.
And 2 or 3 players crashed the boards there for Waltham.
And Waltham retakes the lead. Cox is open on the baseline. Back up top, Cristoforo, and the ball stolen away. No, that's not. Almost a backcourt violation, but it was not. And Waltham with a 1-point lead in the basketball, 4:34 to go in the game.
And Samard will be checking back into Arlington's lineup next whistle.
Hines for 3. Yes! Jeff Hines with a big, big 3-pointer. And the Waltham lead is 4. I believe their biggest lead of the evening. Noel tried to get it inside. Pass was picked off again by Hines. He's had a number of steals in this ball game as well as points, Steve.
I've been stepping into that passing lane, and Arlington's offense just out of sync these past couple possessions.
4 minutes to go. Lovell tried to get it inside, but does to Mark Artelli. Ball's knocked out of bounds. It will remain Waltham ball.
And Barlow trying to sell the ball going off the Waltham player. Referee not buying it. David Noel, no, not David Noel. Ryan Cox coming out of the Arlington lineup.
Neil Samad back in. He's got 4 fouls, remember. And a big possession here for Waltham. Trying to extend their biggest lead of the night. Long three, Jeff Hines. Another big basket by Jeff Hines. He's 2 or 3 feet behind the three-point line and
really
just burying them.
Putting the dagger in with that shot.
Jeff Hines has been unbelievable tonight. The Waltham lead is 7. Cristoforo in trouble. And a foul will be called. Break there for Arlington. They're going to get Fratto on a little push foul there.
Cristoforo's in big trouble there and catching a break. Neither team in the penalty yet. As we'd said, not too many fouls called this second half.
Zarnowski back into the Waltham lineup, replacing Lovell. So Waltham changing players, trying to keep a fresh body on Phil Barlow. Both Zarnowski and Lovell very quick. Arlington needs a couple of hoops here. 3:18 to go, they're down by 7. Phil bottled up to Cristoforo, fakes, drives, Hines with the block. The ball's loose, 10 seconds on the shot clock. David Noel, tough shot, three-pointer, and he nails it! Right in Stanton's face. A big, big hoop by David Noel, and it's a 4-point game.
Huge shot, Noel. The shot clock was down to about 9 seconds, and Noel really created something from nothing there.
Well, I'll tell you, Steve, he misses that shot. It's really going to be hard for Arlington to come back. Arlington's still in this ball game, down 4, 2:45 to go. And the Arlington crowd yelling for defense. Stanton with the shot, partially blocked, I believe, by Samad. Noel can't come up with a rebound, and Stanton smartly comes up with the ball for Waltham and calls timeout. Smart play by Steve Stanton. I thought David Noel was going to come up with that rebound, and Stanton took it away from him.
Yeah, it looks like he had it, and then the ball was loose, and Stanton had the presence of mind to call the timeout. But an amazing turn of events. Waltham has outscored Arlington 17-6 in the past 2.5 minutes.
And it's been the shooting of Hines. You know, and you really can't fault too much the Arlington defense. They've been on him. He's just almost towards half court.
Yeah, no, he's way back there and just launching them. NBA three-pointers, really NBA 3.5-pointers.
Using nothing but net on them for the most part too, Steve. And we had said that earlier in the half, Hines was doing a better job of getting the ball to other people. Now in crunch time, he's taking the big shots, stepping up, and showing the quality player that he is.
For Arlington, 11, well, I'm not sure how much time is left on the shot clock, but they really need a stop here. And one thing that scares you about this Waltham team, everybody seems to be able to handle the ball and pass it fairly well. They just about have a fresh clock. The clock is at 29 seconds for Waltham. I'm a little surprised about that.
I don't remember Waltham getting a shot off. Yeah, Samad blocked the shot. Ball never hit the rim. It shouldn't have been a reset. Hines from the corner. Another three-pointer for Jeff Hines. Wow. And back to a 7-point Waltham lead. 2:20 to go in the game. Noel steps up for 3. And he buries another 3 himself. Now we have a whistle on the play. And Arlington, I believe, called timeout.
Yeah, right on the basket. I think at this point they're going to have to start thinking about putting on a little pressure, too.
Yeah, no question. It's a 4-point game. 2:09 to go. And I'll tell you, David Noel is keeping Arlington in this ballgame. He and Hines are going at it back and forth. This could be a career high for David Noel.
The thing about David's shots tonight, never any doubt once it leaves his hands.
And he's doing it right in the face of a Waltham defender each time.
And you wonder if Arlington will come out in a man-to-man situation. They really have to get out on Hines, and Lovell is also a threat too.
And Arlington has only committed 3 fouls this half, so they still have a ways to go before Waltham is in the penalty. And at some point, that might be something Arlington has to do, is commit some fouls and put somebody to the line. But, Waltham has some good shooters too, and even the big guys in the first half, Pianadosi hit a couple free throws, so We'll see how it plays out here down the stretch. Arlington not pressing, but they look to be in man-to-man defense. Exactly 2 minutes to go in the game. Waltham by 4.
They really had no choice.
The Arlington crowd yelling for defense. Stanton goes to the hole and he puts it down. Oh my. Steve Stanton with a dunk. And the Waltham lead is 6. Barlow, tricky dribbles. Minute 44 to go. Barlow in traffic, gets it to Noel. Noel's gonna try another 3. And he hits it again! David Noel is on fire, and he cuts the Waltham lead in half. It's Waltham 85, Arlington 82, a minute 26 to go in the game. What a performance by David Noel. Arlington, 15 seconds on the shot clock for Waltham. Now Cristoforo was out of bounds when he made the steal, so it will remain Waltham ball, and they reset the shot clock, and it shouldn't be. The shot clock should not be reset.
Yeah, the problem there, ball really never changed possession, and I don't think anybody's going to catch that.
That should not be a reset, and that heads to Waltham's advantage. Now Fratto into the lane, throws up a crazy shot, and Cristoforo comes away with it for Arlington. Here comes Barlow. Barlow, trapped, gets it to Perry. Perry to the hole. He lays it in, and it's a one-point game with a minute to go.
Again, great body control by Roger Perry.
Waltham 85, Arlington 84, 51 seconds to go. First place in the GBL on the line. The crowd yelling for defense, 44 seconds to go. Here comes Stanton, pull-up jumper, no good! Rebound Noel, and here comes Phil Barlow. 36 seconds to go, it's a one-point game. Barlow drives, goes up strong, throws it up, and it is!
Shot!
It is up by Phil Barlow, Arlington leads by 1! 26 seconds to go! I think he shot that with his left hand, and Waltham takes timeout!
I don't know how that ball hung on the rim and then fell back down.
Unbelievable comeback by Arlington. They trailed it by 6. David Noel's three-pointers, Roger Perry's drive, and now Phil Barlow's drive, and Arlington retakes the lead. Oh my goodness, what a game.
And just a minute ago, I didn't think this was possible. I thought we were all done tonight. Now, Waltham to get the last shot with 22 seconds left, and they'll take the ball out at half court.
Unbelievable. Well, I'll tell you, Arlington caught a couple of breaks down the other end here, Steve. First, I think it was Fratto, and then Stanton took kind of tough shots. They didn't really have the same patience and composure that they had most of the second half, and the result was difficult shots. Arlington with rebounds and converting down the other end. First Perry, then Barlow.
Yeah, I think Fratto was expecting that he was going to get a foul call, but he was just completely out of control, and a great non-call by both officials.
Team fouls not a factor right now. Arlington with a foul to waste, actually. No, 3 fouls to waste. They can keep hacking Waltham and utilize their foul situation that way to chew up some clock.
Yeah.
22 seconds to go. Arlington, unbelievably with a 1-point lead. Here comes Lovell. He's being guarded by Perry. 20 seconds to go. Hines being guarded by Barlow, and Barlow will commit the foul. So smart strategy there by Arlington. 7 seconds wasted, and Waltham no closer to the basket than they were before.
Yeah, they'll be taking a bounce, and a crucial 7 seconds come off the clock.
Waltham inbound just past half court, so they gained a few feet, I should say, but really not a significant
and it's
advantage.
still a tough place to inbound the ball.
They get it inbounds. Hey, Cristoforo with the steal, and he is fouled on the play. Mike Cristoforo with the defensive play of the game. He stepped right in front of Pianadosi, comes up with the steal. Waltham commits the foul, but Arlington will have to inbound the ball as Waltham is not yet in the penalty. It's only the 16th foul against Waltham, and with 12 seconds to go, we still have a lot of basketball to play, Steven, I'll tell you that.
And Cristoforo came out of nowhere. It's kind of a lazy pass inbounds, but Cristoforo was able to go around, not make any contact, and grab the ball. And almost a break, I think, Donald, for Arlington not to be shooting here. I mean, if they can get the ball inbounds, take some more time off the clock.
Probably a second or two, because I'm sure Waltham's going to foul immediately. Right. Good thing for Arlington there is the foul was on Pianadosi. He picks up his 5th foul, so he has been disqualified from the game, and Waltham will have to play the rest of this game without their biggest ball player.
Number 32, Luis Ortiz, checking in for his first action of the night.
Yeah, he's probably in there to commit the foul, and it's going to be imperative for Arlington to really get the ball in bounds. If they can, I'm sure they'd like to get it to Phil and put him at the line.
Yeah, I mean, that's the negative here. I mean, you can take some more clock off and maybe a second or two, but you've got to get the ball in bounds, and you're underneath your own basket.
Waltham, I'm sure, is going to try to do everything they can not to let this ball in bounds. Barlow gets open, and immediately Lavelle picks up the foul. Only 1 second came off the clock, and Phil Barlow will go to the line with a 1-and-1 and a chance to extend the Arlington lead. And again, Stephen, Arlington in a great situation where with only 4 team fouls, they can afford to commit a couple fouls, and that strategy worked to perfection the first time. Waltham with 22 seconds left, inbounded the ball, lost 7 seconds off the clock, and then on the ensuing inbounds play, turned it over.
So, and Arlington not sending anybody in.
And Phil Barlow at the line for a 1-and-1. And he nails it. Phil Barlow gives Arlington a 2-point lead, and now Arlington will step into the lane for the second.
I'd like to see that. Got to give him some pressure, try to slow him down a little bit.
And I think, too, if Phil makes the free throw, they probably want to put a little inbounds pressure on Waltham, make him work to get it up the floor. If he hits this one, we're safe. Phil Barlow nails it. We got no basket. Uh-oh.
Roger Perry on a lane violation.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, Roger Perry with a lane violation, as you just said, Stephen, takes away the free throw. That free throw does not count, so Arlington with only a 2-point lead, and so now we're in the precarious situation of a 3-pointer beating us.
That's a real tough situation there, as Barlow had made the free throw, and first I thought the official was just calling a timeout, but he came right over to the bench to explain the violation, and really no argument from Perry or from the Arlington bench.
There really no need for Roger to jump in there early on that one, but Arlington will have to overcome that mistake, no problem. Again, Arlington with the luxury of having 2 fouls to waste. Waltham has to go the whole length of the court, a 2 to tie, a 3 to win, and Arlington's going to have to be very cognizant of the 3-point shooters of Waltham, as I have a feeling they won't hesitate to take that 3 and try to steal this game right now.
Yeah, it's the old adage, when you're on the road, go for the win, go for the tie at home.
Of course, Neil Samad has to be careful not to be the person to commit the foul. He has 4, but I look for Arlington to let a couple seconds go off the clock here and then commit a foul. Arlington, most of their players are back at mid-court for defense. Let's see, they get it inbounds to Hines. Oh! Barlow steals! Barlow's going to try to dribble out the clock. He might have been better served taking the 2, but now he's fouled by Lavelle, and Phil Barlow can ice this game if he can nail these 2 free throws, Steve.
And just, this is incredible. 2 games in a row here at the Tazowski Gymnasium where Arlington has had such great fortune at the end of the game. You remember against Peabody. Peabody threw the ball in and it threw it out of bounds at the end of the game. And here Hines, who had played such a great game, loses the ball on his dribble, and Barlow almost able to dribble out the clock. He'll go to the free throw line to try to ice it.
Yeah, Steve, he just lost his footing over there, and he lost the ball, and I'm sure if Phil had to do that over again, he would take the short 2 and get Arlington up by 4, because now he's going to have to go to the line and earn these 2. It is 1-on-1, 6 seconds left, and Arlington still has those fouls to waste. That foul was committed by Lovell, his 4th foul. And Coach Cacciatore of Waltham took that timeout.
And you're right, Barlow hit the last 2, so there's every reason to believe he'll hit these next 2, but you're right, he's making it more difficult for himself.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident, and maybe Phil didn't realize it was as much time as there was. If there was only 5 seconds, maybe could have got away with dribbling that clock out. But when he stole the ball, there was probably still about 10 seconds left. And, well, now he's just going to have to do it the hard way, and we have no problem with that. Still just a 1-on-1, though, for Phil. He's going to have to earn the second one by hitting the first. Arlington 87, Waltham 85. Phil Barlow at the line for a 1-on-1. I believe that's now 18 fouls on Waltham. Phil Barlow, yes! And that's a comfort zone right there, Steve, because now the worst that Arlington can do is be tied by a three-pointer by Waltham.
Absolutely, and these have been perfect free throws.
And if Phil can hit this one, Waltham will really have their work cut out for him. And around the rim and in, a 4-point Arlington lead with 6 seconds to go. Ball's inbounds to Hines. Arlington could waste a foul here, but they don't. They let Hines take the three. He hits it, and the buzzer sounds. This ball game is over. And the Waltham players are just dejected after a tremendous, tremendous effort by Coach Cacciatore's Waltham Hawks. Comes up 1 point short. Arlington wins it 89-88. Steve?
Well, if you're Arlington, you've got to breathe a huge sigh of relief because, frankly, I thought this game was over a couple minutes ago, and Arlington just hung in there, and they really are just finding ways to win, and this is really a special team. And
you can see the players as they shake hands. A few of them were embracing each other after this hard-fought game. Both teams left everything out on the court. A fantastic, fantastic game, and Arlington comes out on top. The final score here from Arlington 89, Waltham 88. Steve and I will be back to wrap it up in a moment. And back to wrap things up, I'm joined by Roger Perry, David Noel, and Phil Barlow. And first, Roger, congratulations on the win. And Arlington didn't look like they were going to be able to do this. You guys were trailing by a few points, and then you got a really big basket on the layup down the lane there on the drive. Tell us about that big hoop.
Well, I don't know what to say about it.
Just a big hoop at a big time of the game, and congratulations on that. Now, quickly, Roger, a week ago, Arlington went to Brockton, hostile territory, and I talked to a few people that didn't think that Brockton really had respect for you guys, and you guys came away with a 1-point win on a free throw by you at the end of the game. Tell us a little bit about that ball game.
Well, that pretty much was a tough game. You know, I didn't think we was gonna lose, but after I missed the first free throw, I knew I really had to make sure I made that one because they were good. If I had missed the second one, then most likely we would have lost. So.
Well, congratulations. You're being an instrumental part of the team's success these last couple of games. Steve with Phil Barlow.
Yeah, down here with Phil. And Phil, congratulations on another great game. You and David had combined for 66 of Arlington's 89 points. But I got to tell you, with a minute or so left in the game, I didn't think it was going to be a W tonight.
Yeah, we were down by 5 with about a minute left. Roger was running away, hit a layup. I think Dave hit a 3, and then I drove to the hoop and hit a layup. But yeah, that was a close game. This kid lit it up. So.
Oh yeah, great second half. And we'll get to him in a second. Yeah. But last play of the game on the last sequence, Hines gets the ball, and then all of a sudden it's rolling in front of you. Your eyes must have lit up.
As a gift, that was like winning the lottery. I was loving it. I just hello and hit the free throws to win it. So it was nice.
And you didn't want to make it easy for yourself and hit the layup. You wanted to try. Did you think there was less time on the clock?
I was just gonna kill a little more time in case I missed one or I only hit one of them and then they got another shot off. I was just trying to kill a little clock, so I had faith in my free throws. So.
Yeah, no, we all did. And it's a great start for Arlington. You're 6-0. You have a couple away games, but big game next Monday against Cambridge.
Yeah, I mean, this was a great test out here. I mean, and then definitely Cambridge, they're the other undefeated team in the league. So, I mean, we'll be ready for them, though.
And congratulations, Donald.
Here with David Noel, and David, congratulations. The fire trucks are outside. We're going to have to hose you off a little bit. I hope you don't mind. You don't have to take a shower because they'll take care of that for you. But all seriousness, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody at Arlington have a shooting performance like that. The way you just stepping up and draining threes, especially with Arlington losing and Hines matching it 3 for 3. Congratulations, an incredible, incredible performance, David.
Well, I just try to shoot, and practice makes perfect, so I try to do in the game too. So I'm thankful that we got the win. So we did all right, but we did good on passing the ball, and I did good at shooting tonight. But rebounding, we need more help on just a little bit. Then we'll be all set.
You guys were down by 7 with about 2 minutes left. Did you guys still really think you could pull it out?
Yeah, but we're Arlington, and we're supposed to have Phil, so come on now. Free throws and threes and just keep hustling, keep winning.
The only thing that was missing tonight was a dunk, so maybe we'll get that in the Cambridge game.
Hopefully, hopefully. I'm trying, I'm trying to get there, see if I'm open, trying to dunk it. Got to get the team hyped up.
David, congratulations again in all seriousness. One of the greatest performances I've seen under the conditions, and especially with the game the way it was. Steve, you have a question for David?
Yeah, well, I got to wait for him to cool off a little bit before I can approach. But David, going down the stretch a couple times, it seemed like the team was having trouble getting the ball up court, and a couple times you just had to create your own offense. But you're really looking for the shot this year.
Yeah, this year I'm trying to step it up. Trying to step it up a notch and trying to do good and trying to win games with my team and do good on defense too, because that's what mostly counts in a game.
It was a great team effort, and both of you go downstairs and enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you next Monday.
Right.
Donald and I will be back in a moment to wrap things up.
And back for a final word, Don Phelan, Steve DeCourcy, Mark Crory, our producer. And, gee, I don't know, Steve, we're going to be spoiled now. We've seen two outstanding home games this year. First, the Peabody game, and this, one of the best high school basketball games I've ever seen.
Yeah, just a great effort by both teams. And unfortunately, we said it in the Peabody game, but again here tonight, it's too bad one of these teams had to lose because both teams left it on the court. And it's just outstanding basketball by Arlington and Waltham.
A lot of credit tonight goes to Waltham's number 11, Jeff Hines. He was actually the leading scorer in this game with 37. You figured David Noel with 36 would be the leading scorer. But Hines with 37. He also did a tremendous job of passing the basketball to his teammates. And Hines was unbelievable tonight.
Yeah, and too bad for him. He lost the ball down at the end when Barlow retrieved the basketball and really sealed the win for Arlington. But Hines really had that great sense. He had three huge three-pointers, and at one point he had put Waltham up by 7 or 8 points with a three-pointer. I thought that was all she wrote.
Yeah, at that point I thought it was going to be very difficult for Arlington to come back, but then David Noel kept answering with threes of his own.
Yeah, and nothing was really happening for the Arlington offense, and David was getting the ball, just working, looking for a spot, and he hit 3 three-pointers in a row and really just barely kept Arlington in there hanging on by a thread until they were able to pull it out in the end.
As we said, David Noel with 36 points, Phil Barlow had 30, wrapping up the Arlington scoring Roger Perry with 9, Neil Samad with 6, and Mike Cristoforo had 6 points as well, a total of 89, and Arlington squeaks out an improbable 89-88 victory.
Yeah, and Cristoforo, you just mentioned, 6 points. Had a little trouble on the offensive end tonight, but what does he do? He goes back on the defensive end and has a huge steal, which really led to the Arlington win.
It was probably the defensive play of the game, and Mike Cristoforo came up with it for Arlington. So that'll wrap things up here from the Kozlowski Gymnasium. The final score, Arlington 89, Waltham 88. Upcoming games for Arlington, they travel on the road to Revere this Friday night, and then they return home from Monday evening contest against Cambridge. And if you thought this game was a track meet, more of the same next Monday.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to have enough digits on the scoreboard, but these two, Cambridge coming in, this game was in the high 80s. One of the teams could break 100 next week.
Arlington maintains their streak of scoring at least 80 points in every game. They go 6-0 with the victory tonight. For our producer, Mark Crory, my partner, Steve DeCourcy, I'm Don Phelan. Once again, the final score, Arlington 89, Waltham 88.